Hi, I hope everyone's having a wonderful day today. Let's get into some oracle cards and look into the energies of love and romance for you right now. Okay, so the first one that we have is sea turtle. So somebody is taking a slow and steady approach to you in this situation, and it is taking a lot of self-control on their part not to announce their feelings fully, or I'm hearing plans fully. So somebody that wants to kind of use the element of surprise to their advantage, or they've been working on something as far as like a grand gesture of love, or maybe even somebody that's been working on themselves behind the scenes, someone that has been kind of slow to open up to you, it feels like overall. So maybe somebody you've been dealing with for a while. It could have been like a back and forth connection, times where it felt that the energy was very intense, very in sync with one another, and then they would pull back, into themselves, kind of get scared, sort of change up their approach. But it feels like each time they've reemerged stronger or more confident, more self-assured, or they're aware at this particular point in time that that is necessary in order to break the two of you out of this cycle that you've been stuck in. This is somebody who sees your value and worth, doesn't want to miss a window of opportunity with you, which they sense is open at this time, or that the power is in their hands to create that for the two of you moving forward. So this may be something where you had, your hopes up about the situation, and this person could have like let you down or disappointed you. Something where it's almost like there might not have necessarily even been like a falling out per se, but something where you were expecting things to move in a certain direction, or you thought, hey, the big confession is going to happen. We're on the same page with one another, and something happened that almost might have shaken your confidence in the situation. And so you've really responded to the energetic tone that this person has set up to this point in time. They've pulled back their energy. You've stepped into your boundaried up energy as well. And so there's a sense, I'm hearing you're slipping through my fingers. And so there's a sense that this person is well aware of the fact that something needs to change as far as the pace, the consistency, or kind of the nature of the declarations that they've made, the efforts that they've put in up to this point in time. Something needs to be increased or needs to be clarified, or there's a sense of you have enough self-respect, you have options, you know your worth, you would rather be alone than kind of be in poor company, and you're not going to wait around for this person. It feels like they see that you're a very open individual, but you're not going to make it easy for them. And like each time they've pulled back, they've kind of tucked away in that shell. It's getting harder and harder to kind of build the balance between the two of you. So there's something within them that recognizes, I need to do the impossible in this situation. I need to acknowledge my fears and progress forward beyond those. There's a sense of almost this person being like, what am I so afraid of in this situation? Or what am I so afraid of with, love in general? You've given nothing but green flags up to this point in time that is urging them to continue to be open to this connection, open their mind, open their heart to you, to continue to go with the flow of this situation. And yet fear keeps pulling them back, and they're recognizing that it's taking a toll on the situation. Your energy towards them has changed. And so there's a sense of, now's not the time to take that slow and steady approach, but it's almost like they need to take a leap of faith, or do something, very apparent that lets you know that they're serious about this situation, that they see long-term potential here, because they're seeing you as somebody who is not just going to waste your time. You know your worth, and you'd rather be alone than settling in a situation. We also have the gate. Yeah, so this is somebody that it's like a window of opportunity is closing for them. They've kind of awakened your heart. They've knocked on your door. Maybe this is somebody that pursued you really hard in the beginning, and then things were getting good, things were getting interesting, and they kind of stumbled. They fell back. The fear took over and caused them to sort of change their approach to you. And there's a sense of, if this has happened several times, or, maybe just once, there's a sense of reconnecting with you. It's not as easy and seamless as it once was. It's almost like in the silence, in the distance, in the separation, they're trying to level up or kind of improve in some sort of way, but you're doing the same thing as well. So it's almost like they've reconnected with you, or they're recognizing you're a person that just keeps evolving. You're somebody that may be in the midst of like a transformation in your life in general. And so what was acceptable, what you were willing to kind of entertain with them at one point in time, it's no longer fitting into the life that you're creating for yourself. It's no longer matching with the vibe that you're putting out. You're showing them different facets of yourself that it feels like is really motivating them to kind of pick up the pace as far as keeping that door of opportunity open between the two of you, or seeking to find ways within themselves to kind of push through that fear, push through those boundaries that have inadvertently been put in place due to like a back and forth behavior on their part. We also have the scales. Yeah, so this is all about the energy of justice and balance. Somebody that knows that they need to give a lot more into this situation in order to receive kind of more of your time, more of your attention, to continue to maintain a place in your life, or to claim a place in your life moving forward. It's going to require more than the bare minimum. So this is somebody that it feels like has weighed both the pros and cons of, what it will take in order to kind of kickstart this connection, or pivot the nature of your interactions to a place where you're both comfortable. Things are, openly stated as far as intentions. You're both, having your emotional and physical and kind of energetic needs met. And this is somebody who's taking into account the fact that they could have done a better job. There's more that they could have given, or there were several points or like a specific point of opportunity that they had to kind of put in place, almost like a placeholder with you, something where if they could kind of sense, okay, my fears are starting to get the better of me, or I've got a lot of things going on in my life coming up and I'm going to need to have to step away from this connection. It's almost like they recognize that they did a very poor job of making that clear. They kind of just ghosted. They just disappeared. This might have been something where, you'd kind of noticed a pattern within this person of coming in very intense, very hot and heavy, and then changing up very abruptly. You might have given them ultimatums even, and it was kind of like, okay, one more chance, or, something's got to change in this situation, or I have to kind of love myself enough to move forth in another direction. So they're well aware that they haven't honored this connection or the opportunity with you in all the right ways up to this point in time. And so there's a sense of them being well aware that they need to provide you with some kind of reassurances, something that kind of makes up for lost time, smooths over hurt feelings of the past, or, that big leap of faith may even just be kind of declarations to you, or like a conversation with you as far as like, these are my fears, these are my hopes for the situation, but these are also my fears moving forward. Is this something you're willing to work with? Is this something that you can help me find a way to compromise? Because I don't want to miss out on this. I don't want to lose you. We also have koi fish. So this again is the energy of someone that's very overwhelmed emotionally. They are very skittish when it comes to love and to romance, or the nature of what is experienced with you. And so although you provide them a lot of tranquility when they're in the moment, they feel very aligned with you when they're interacting, when the eye contact is happening, when you're exchanging ideas, you're connecting with one another in that very palpable and visceral way. It's almost like everything feels right, everything feels so aligned, they can go with the flow, and then all of a sudden something spooks them, something sends them running off in the other direction. It feels like this is someone who's almost kind of, they may be working through fears of like, are you too good to be true? They may be used to, very kind of toxic relationships where, love takes work and passion equals kind of volatility with a partner. And the fact that there are so many ways in which the two of you connect, and it's just easy. It just feels right. It just moves at a very smooth pace. This could be illustrating to this person just how accustomed they have become to kind of the opposite of a healthy connection. So a little bit of shadow work that needs to be done at this particular point in time as far as kind of reprogramming themselves as far as like what love and connection between two people really should be. What is kind of the challenge to build a relationship with another person versus kind of the toxicity that just sort of brings out the worst in two people. And so there's something about kind of how effortless things are with you, or just how right it feels with you, that is kind of scaring them. Like, am I not seeing something in this situation? Am I only perceiving green flags, but maybe this is like overall a red flag? Is this a test? Is this going to be another lesson, or is this my blessing? Can I walk through that fear and kind of claim this opportunity, or present a version of myself that you, the viewer, will want to continue to build with moving forward? And we also have the spring. So that can be a confirmation for you, somebody that you met in the spring, in the last couple of months. But this is also the energy of kind of renewal, new beginnings. It's almost like I want a new chapter with you. I want a new opportunity with you. I want to try something different than what I've tried up to this point in time in this connection, because it's gotten me nowhere. It's gotten me in this position where everything feels right. I gravitate towards you. I'm like a moth to your flame. I get in close, and then I get terrified of being burned and run off again. So there's a sense that this person knows that you're not going to stick around and kind of participate in this cycle forever. You may have already given them a lot of chances. You may have been very patient up to this point in time. There may be a lot that's unspoken between the two of you, an elephant in the room that needs to be addressed, as far as like mixed signals that they may be giving, and the fact that each time they pull their energy back, or maybe since the spring, you might have told yourself, hey, if this doesn't change, I have to do what's right for me. So this could be somebody you've been dealing with in a longer term capacity, and it's like, okay, they've ghosted again, they've fallen back from the connection once again, without proper explanation, without anything that motivated it. Something that might have been very just sudden, and yet you anticipated it because you know their pattern. And so there's a sense of, if they tried to come back in close, or they're still sort of interacting with you in some degree, there's a sense of almost like, okay, you're changing your approach, you're hardening your heart to me. It's not as easy to kind of just back and forth with you as it once was. And so this is somebody who's seeing in a way that they've like taken you for granted, or they are feeling almost like, if I don't change something about this, if I don't find a way to kind of break out of this cycle, I'm going to miss the opportunity with this wonderful person, to experience a love that can be very deeply satisfying, very deeply fulfilling to the two of us. And we also have white buffalo. Yeah, so they're seeing you as somebody very rare, a gift in their life. You are somebody that is unlike anyone that they have ever met. They understand they're never going to meet like someone like you ever again. And so there's a lot of motivation on this person's part, very quietly behind the scenes, to try and chisel their way through some kind of self-imposed fortress that they've enclosed themselves in, tucking themselves into that shell. And this isn't just out of sight, out of mind, or, maybe they legitimately are busy with like other things in their life, but there's a lot going on kind of even with the undercurrent of that, like behind the scenes, in the quiet times of the evening, or even when they're in the midst of kind of, day-to-day activities, busy work, their mundane duties and responsibilities, their thoughts keep drifting to you, to kind of the rarity of the exchange between the two of you. The fact that, you bring a lot of light into their life. They feel really good when they're around you. You present as a very genuine person as they've gotten to know you, as they've experienced you, maybe kind of the best and worst of you, and you've had a taste of kind of the best and worst of them. There's a sense of, I want to fight for this connection. I want to find a way through this difficulty, something that it feels like on some level they're acknowledging a lot of this responsibility lies with them. You've been very open, you've been very patient, you've adjusted your pace and expectations to this situation, or at least kind of, been very clear with them, very open with them as far as like, this isn't working for me, I need some more clarity. Maybe you've been very direct with them, and that kind of scared them off, has caused them to think it's been food for thought. And so they really are contemplating this, and it's the sense of, I don't want to miss out. I don't want to move through the rest of my life with this regret over what might have been, because I was scared to believe that such a beautiful connection with such a beautiful person was possible, that I was worthy of experiencing something like that in this lifetime. So this is somebody that it feels like they're trying to make some alterations to the plan that they had for this connection, or certain things that have kind of surfaced as far as even kind of derailing those plans by way of fears or hesitation. Like, can I trust in this fully? Can I trust in what we can develop with one another? Because they don't want to miss out on this opportunity with you. They want something more. They want to create more beauty with you. They want to experience the fullness of what this situation has to offer. And they're very well aware that the ball's in their court in order to kind of push this connection forward beyond sort of the stalemate or kind of the ways in which it's stalled out up to this point in time. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.